If you're a seeker of timeless wisdom, then you need to hear this story. Welcome to Metaverse, where ancient wisdom meets modern insight. Today, we unravel the timeless tale of David and Goliath in The Shepherd and the Nephilim, Giants of Falsehood. Here unfolds the Bible's timeless tale of David and Goliath, a story that has inspired countless generations with its profound message. But this isn't just about a legendary battle. Our focus is on the deeper, symbolic aspects of this narrative, especially the Nephilim, the giants of falsehood. Join us as we uncover the profound lessons hidden in this timeless tale. It's a timeless message of courage, faith, and the power of God to overcome any obstacle. It teaches us that with faith, even the smallest among us can achieve the impossible. We've all faced giants in our lives. These giants may not be literal, but they are no less daunting. Personal struggles, relationship conflicts, or deep fears can loom like giants, casting long, dark shadows over our lives. The story of David and Goliath reminds us that no giant is too big for God. It shows us that with faith and determination, we can stand firm against any adversity. We'll look at the deeper meanings and symbolism behind the characters in this classic tale. We'll delve into David's unwavering faith and the significance of the 5 smooth stones. Each stone represents a key aspect of faith and trust in God. As we explore this story, we'll see that David's victory was both a physical and spiritual triumph, showcasing the power of faith and trust in God. The 5 smooth stones David chose were not just weapons, but symbols of his faith. Each stone represented a different aspect of his trust in God: courage, strength, wisdom, perseverance, and faith. David's example reminds us that with faith, we can overcome our own giants and obstacles. Let's open our hearts to the lessons in the video. Find courage to face our giants and trust in God's strength to overcome challenges. Together, we'll see that David and Goliath is more than a historical tale. It's a source of inspiration and hope for our lives today. Let's explore how it can transform us. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. While humans often judge based on appearances, God sees beyond the surface. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 13:14. This profound truth reminds us that our true worth is found in our inner character and devotion. David wasn't a warrior. He was a shepherd tending his father's sheep. In the quiet fields, away from the eyes of the world, David learned humility and patience. Yet, God saw something special in David, a heart that was fully devoted to him. It wasn't David's physical strength or his outward appearance that caught God's attention, but his unwavering faith and dedication. David's faith wasn't just words, it was a deep, abiding trust in God's goodness and power. He believed in God's promises and relied on his guidance in every aspect of his life. He spent countless hours in prayer and meditation, seeking God's presence. These moments of solitude and reflection were where David found his strength and courage. This close relationship with God shaped David's character and prepared him for the challenges ahead. It was in these quiet moments that David's heart was molded and refined. David's life shows us that true strength comes from a heart aligned with God. When we prioritize our relationship with Him, we face challenges with grace and confidence. Like David, we can inspire ourselves by dedicating time to prayer and seeking God's presence, cultivating a heart fully devoted to Him. Let us remember that God values our inner devotion above all else. As we nurture our relationship with Him, we become vessels of His love and strength, ready to fulfill the purpose He has for us. A heart for God is a heart that seeks His will, trusts in His promises, and finds joy in His presence. May we all strive to cultivate such a heart, just as David did. Then he took his staff in his hand. This staff was not just a piece of wood, but symbolized his journey and reliance on God, reminding him of past dangers and divine protection. David chose 5 smooth stones from the brook, each representing his preparation, faith, and trust in God's guidance. He placed the stones in his shepherd's bag, a simple pouch that held his faith, hope, and trust in God, a vessel of his belief. He gripped his sling, a humble tool transformed into a symbol of faith and divine power through his belief. He advanced towards the Philistine, 1 Samuel 17:40, each step brimming with faith and courage, not just facing a giant, but in the light of God's promise. The first smooth stone represents faith. Faith that moves mountains, faith that conquers giants, faith that sees beyond the immediate and trusts in the eternal. David's faith wasn't passive, it was active and courageous. He didn't just believe, he acted on his belief, showing us that true faith requires action and courage. He cast aside his own strength, placing full trust in God. His prayers became his fortress, a wellspring of courage and divine power. We confront giants, fears, doubts and obstacles that feel impossible to overcome. But like David, we can choose faith over fear. We can decide to trust in God's power and walk the path of faith, knowing that we are not alone. By trusting in God's power, we harness a strength that transcends obstacles, infusing our lives with purpose, courage, and profound transformation. Humility is the second smooth stone. David didn't boast about his abilities or seek glory for himself. He knew that his victory would come from God alone. True humility recognizes our need for God. It's acknowledging that we are not self-sufficient, but rely on God's grace and power. When we humble ourselves before God, we open ourselves to his guidance and provision. Section 5, Stone 3, Courage. Facing our giants with God. The third smooth stone is courage. David was afraid of Goliath, but he didn't let fear paralyze him. He knew that God was with him, and that gave him the courage to face his giant. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward despite our fears. When we face our giants with God by our side, we can be courageous, knowing that he will fight for us. Section 6, Stone 4, Obedience, following God's guidance. Obedience is the fourth smooth stone. David didn't try to fight Goliath on his own terms. He followed God's leading and used the skills he had honed as a shepherd. Obedience is about surrendering our will to God's will, even when we don't understand his plan. It's trusting that he knows what's best for us and will guide us through every challenge. Section 7, Stone 5, Love. Conquering hate with God's love. The fifth smooth stone represents love. David didn't hate Goliath, even though Goliath threatened his people. He faced him with the love and justice of God. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. It has the power to conquer hate, overcome evil, and bring healing to brokenness. When we face our giants with God's love, we can overcome even the most daunting challenges. Section 8, Goliath, the giant of falsehood. And there came out from the camp of the Philistines a champion named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span, 1 Samuel 17:4. Goliath represents more than a physical adversary. He symbolizes the giants of false teachings and corrupted doctrines. His imposing presence reflects the power of false teachings to intimidate and mislead. Giants, as depicted in Genesis 6:4, are hybrid beings born of the sons of God, fallen angels, and humans, a blend of the divine and earthly. In the same way, false teachings may appear biblical, but are hybrids of worldly desires and twisted interpretations, crafted to deceive. Like Goliath, these giants may loom large and invincible. Similarly, false teachings might seem alluring and biblical, but they lack the Holy Spirit's guidance and stray from God's true will. But their strength is an illusion, much like false teachers who offer deceptive hope for their own gain and popularity. They rely on fear and deception. We must remember that greater is He who is in us than he who is in the world. Section 9, Facing your giants with God. The story of David and Goliath is a powerful reminder that no giant is too big for God. When we face our giants with faith, humility, courage, obedience, and love, we can be confident that God will give us the victory. As you face your own giants, remember the lessons from David's story. Cultivate a heart that is fully devoted to God. Spend time in prayer and meditation, seeking His guidance and strength. And when those giants rise up, stand firm in your faith, knowing that God is with you and He will never let you go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more insights.